Welcome back to Collective Perspective. It's episode 68. We are quickly approaching 70. Oh, next month. We do 2 a month. Yeah, so episode 70 is probably going to be our recap on the 2024 collecting goals.
Ooh.
Craig.
Oh yeah, huh?
Craig
Look at
finished
that.
a set this year. Dang.
I did. It's been a big year for me. I kind of did not collect for like almost 2 years, at least not majorly. I really slowed down, but this year I actually started buying some games like a real man. So
And none of them were
gonna have a
Piglet's
lot to
Big
talk
Game.
about. I know. I sent my sealed copy to Wada in between the recording of the last episode. So going for that pop 110 A++ baby. Gonna see me retire. I'm not gonna need Christian's YouTube money anymore.
I should have looked it up between episodes what the population was.
That would've been funny.
There's probably a VGA one that's been graded for like 15 years.
And no one's ever batted an eye at it. It was probably sitting up there for $50. Buy it now for about a decade.
It's probably on tonight's Heritage Auction stream.
That'd be so funny. God, I really wish that there would be one on the Heritage stream. That'd be so funny.
Talking about speaking of non-collectible things, here's a good segue.
Xbox!
Xbox. We love to roast
Woo!
Xbox collecting here with good
'Cause
reason.
it doesn't exist.
I love Xbox. I love playing it. I love collecting it. Craig, what are your thoughts on Xbox?
I like it. It's unfortunately just to the bottom of my list. Depending on generation, it's like Xbox 360, PS3, PS3. Modern day, I'm gonna go with PlayStation or Switch or whatever. But when it comes to GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, original Xbox, I actually prefer the original Xbox over the PS2. So I do have some fondness for Xbox. It's just not my go-to platform. But I do like that they have a lot of weird, interesting things, and in general, there's just not a lot of well-known things, as we talked about. There's still a lot of mystery to Xbox collecting. We don't really know a lot of what's rare and low print and all these other different things. So I'm fascinated by Xbox, I guess is the best way to put it.
The fact that you don't hate Xbox puts you a league above most other people already.
That's true. What's there to hate? Phil Spencer loves his people, so.
You said there are undocumented rarities. I found 2 just looking for the content for this video, which is gonna blow your mind.
Hell yeah.
And I'm excited to share it with y'all. Maybe we'll have a little Piglet's Big Game action here with the 2 games. You guys can
Market
go.
manipulation. We are going to be money laundering some Xbox games. I hope you're ready, ladies and gentlemen. Go get your copies on eBay now before this goes live for too long.
Okay. So what we're talking about today is This is Craig's idea. We are gonna do 10 Xbox games across any Xbox platform that are more expensive than their PlayStation, Nintendo counterparts. Meaning that a game is more expensive on the Xbox rather than the PS2 or GameCube, or rather than the PS4, the Xbox One version is more expensive, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this was really hard to do. We struggled to find 10 games between the two of us. There is not a lot of Xbox games that are more valuable than their counterparts. So
Yeah, I thought it would be a lot easier. The first thing I typed in was Psychonauts. I'm like, that's an Xbox game. There's no reason it should be more on PS2. It's more on PS2. What the heck are we doing as a hobby? I don't know.
You fools!
All right, I'm gonna let you go first. Kick it off for us.
Sure. So this is a semi-well-known one. I feel like when you talk about more collectible or expensive Xbox games, this one usually comes up. And this is Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. So the other console version of this is for the PS2. That usually goes for about $42. The original Xbox version, $63. So
Not bad.
couldn't tell you why, but this has always been one of those Xbox games that's just been a little bit more high-end. And it's a beautiful thing to be talking about high-end games for a console. $63 is considered high-end. That is
Yeah.
Beautiful. I wish that 63 was the high end for every console.
Yeah, man, if you want to get the freaking... The problem with Xbox is there's like over 800 games, but man, none of them are going to cost you... I don't know if any of them are going to cost you triple digits. I can't think of any.
Not many, at least.
It's
not
crazy.
many. There's a couple, but not many.
Alright, cool.
What you got?
I have Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. This is one I wanted for a while, and I got it as a gift on the PSP. I think it plays pretty well. Probably plays way better and looks way better on console, but this one on the PSP is going to cost you $35. If you want it on PS2, it's going to cost you $75. Now, this is a very good racing game. This is a iconic series from Sega, beloved. People love them some Outrun, from the arcades to this game. And there's another one called Outrun 2, I think. Also on Xbox and PS2. People love Outrun. So
Yes, they do.
it makes sense that this one's kind of pricey. Xbox, though, PS2 was $75. Xbox is over $200. It is a massive jump. I could not tell you what the reasoning is. Maybe there's a difference in how they play between the PS2 and Xbox, but I doubt it. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's funny because that game's always been expensive too. That's always been like the one on Xbox for some reason, is Outrun 2006. So
I think that I mean, this isn't a good enough reason for the major price difference, but people associate Sega with the original Xbox a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people say, or consider the original Xbox almost like a Dreamcast too.
Yeah.
Which, I kind of get and I don't. There's a lot of games like it got Crazy Taxi 3, it got House of the Dead, stuff like that. But it's like PS2 got Space Channel 5 Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
So there's some other interesting ones, Sonic Adventures only went to GameCube, so it's interesting. But yeah, there is definitely something a little bit Dreamcast coded about the original Xbox. I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Next for me, we have one of the greatest games of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Jackson's King Kong,
Ooh.
the official game of the movie. There are 4 major releases for this game on console. Xbox only $9, PS2 $10, GameCube $15, but Xbox 360 $45.
Ooh.
That's because that is definitely the best version of this game. The only HD version, and also a game that is famously known for having a really easy achievement list, so achievement hunters love this game. And it's just a fantastic game. I've championed that game 1,000 times on the show at this point, so I don't need to go too crazy, but Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie, most expensive version is an Xbox version. And
to top it all off, you definitely can't buy it digitally. So
that's also true. I don't think that has ever been digitally released, and has also never been backwards compatible on Xbox One. So you do need an actual 360 to play it, unfortunately.
That has a lot going for it in terms of collectability. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, great game, great version.
Do you
Shout out
have
to
it?
my boy Peter Jackson. Yes, I do.
Good.
I have many versions of Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Thank you very much.
All right. This one is probably pretty known, maybe. Maybe not, because this game was called one thing on Xbox. It's called Bloody Roar Extreme. And on the GameCube, it's called Bloody Roar Primal Fury. Same game from what Wikipedia tells me.
That's crazy. I didn't know they were the same game.
$45 on GameCube. It's going to cost you $90 on the Xbox. Pretty crazy.
On the Nintendo Xbox.
Double the price. This is like, I don't know how beloved Bloody Roar is. I've never heard a single person tell me this is their favorite fighting game.
It has a very niche hardcore fan base. They're one of those.
This is a Hudson Soft game. So,
which is super weird.
Adventure Island, Bomberman, and Bloody Roar.
What a resume.
That's all I got. Nothing else exciting about that one.
Nah, shout out to Bloody Roar. All 3 of you out there that like that game. So next up, we have A surprising one. I'm gonna say the price is first and then the game, just because I think it's funny that there's a game from this series that's expensive. So the Wii version is $4, PS3 5, Xbox 5, PS2 7, or Xbox 360 is 5. I'm sorry. PS2. Oh no. Let me start over. Wii 4, PS3 5, Xbox 360 5, PS2 7, original Xbox 36.
Whoa.
The game Madden 2009.
What?
Yes. So this one, I think, obviously, is just because it came out very late. You know, Xbox 360 came out in 2005, so this came out 3 years after the Xbox 360 came out on original Xbox. So that explains it. And $36 isn't crazy, but it is kind of crazy just because it's a regular plain old Madden game. So I thought that was really interesting when I came across that. That definitely popped out at me. I was like, holy cow, a Madden game worth over $30?
Dude, if anybody gave a dang about Xbox, that game would be like $75 to $100.
At least, yeah, right? The only reason it's not is because it's just a regular old another numbered Madden game.
Yeah.
But I thought that was very interesting.
I just spent $18 on Madden 08 on the GameCube.
Didn't you want to throw up too while you were spending that money?
Pretty ridiculous.
Oh, super ridiculous. And even that's not as big of a gap because the Wii came out in 2006.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's only a 2-year gap. Madden 2009 might as well be ancient by the time.
That's pretty fascinating. That might have been the last Xbox release.
It might have been. I didn't look into that, but timeline for that would match up for sure.
Let's take it to another EA game here. We have Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm guessing that this is a thing very similar to how you were talking about King Kong, because it's a middle game where the PS3 is not out yet and the PS3 didn't get a release, and then the GameCube, Xbox, PS2 did, and then the 360 one is the valuable one.
Yeah.
So we have the GameCube at 30, the PS2 at 20, the Xbox at 15. The 360 is $50.
Wow.
I know that a lot of people, you see Instagram reels all the time. People are like really nostalgic right now for this era of Need for Speed, especially Underground and Most Wanted. People love those things.
Yeah, I was going to say, Most Wanted is definitely one of the most beloved games as well.
So I think a lot of people, it's probably in high demand right now, especially in HD. It might even be backwards compatible on Xbox One. So
there's a chance. Next up for me, another racing game. We have Auto Modelista. So this game is a little expensive on another console as well, but the Xbox version is most expensive. So PS2 we got $28, GameCube $96, and original Xbox $120.
Sheesh.
So yeah, it's funny because I always just assumed the GameCube version was the most expensive version, and it ended up being Xbox. Because when I was going for the GameCube set, I remember this was one that like smacked me across the face when I was heading towards the end of the set, and I thought I had no more expensive games left, and I was like, what the hell is this stupid racing game that I didn't even know existed that I still need? It's $80. So
I'm surprised it's under $100. That makes me happy because I still don't have it yet.
I was gonna say that's one of the harder racing games for sure on GameCube. There's a couple of weird GameCube racing games that are pretty hard to find and more expensive, but we're not talking about GameCube today.
That's right. That's the Xbox's time to shine.
Ooh, Xbox boys.
That's cool. I was looking, doing research for this. I passed that up because I was like, oh yeah, GameCube's definitely more expensive than that. That's interesting. I don't know, like, that's a weird one. It's super cheap on PS2. Why GameCube and Xbox? It's very strange.
Super weird. Super, super weird.
All right, jump into the modern era here. We have, this one's going to blow your mind, Craig. Xbox One, $50. PS4, $25. And there are only a handful of listings on eBay right now for the Xbox release. It is Atari Flashbacks Volume 3. I go to Walmart and I see Atari Flashbacks 1 and 2 for like $20, brand new and sealed all day. They have thousands of copies they can't get rid of.
Do they really? That's funny.
This Volume 3 must have been the exact opposite. They were like, all right, guys, we are printing like 4 of these for the entire planet. No one's going to buy it. Let's just get it out there.
Sitting on all this old stock of 1 and 2.
So yeah, I mean, people are buying it too. I looked at sold listings. People are spending money on this random Atari Flashbacks Volume 3 for the Xbox One. If you want to buy it right now, it's $50. That's pretty crazy.
For all of you Xbox One collectors out there, there's one to
There
might
are
be expensive one day if Xbox ever gets any love.
like that's the kind of thing that goes up for auction. It's probably selling for $20. Like no one gives a dang. But
Yeah, the poor Xbox One, and it's all of its games worth $0.00.
it would be really cool if that version had like there's been like 1,000 Atari collections over the last 40 years, right? I think it would be super cool if there's like one new game on this volume that like had never been released on other platforms, making this collectible, but I doubt it.
That would be really cool. Yeah, that's and I don't know, it's just very very strange. It's because are there a lot of copies listed for PS4? Or I'm not sure if you looked. I'm just curious.
I probably did look, and the fact that it's $25, yeah, I think there's probably new old stock.
It's so strange because I always wonder with Xbox how many of their games are going to be value wise over time, especially with Game Pass. It just totally ruins any value for any of these games. But something like that's probably never going to go on Game Pass, so
Yeah.
could be something to be looking into if you're curious about some games for your Xbox collection. That's for sure.
Fascinating.
All right, number 10 on our list. Last one.
Number 9.
Teen Titans. Oh, do you have one more?
Yeah, you went first.
Never mind. I'm sorry. Number 9. Second to last one. Teen Titans.
Yeah.
PS2 23, GameCube 25, Xbox 209.
What?
It's insane how much more expensive the Xbox version is, and I couldn't tell you why. It's kind of like Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. It's like it's always had more value for some reason. It's always been the most expensive version. I don't ever remember it being over $100. I always remember it being around like the $80 to $100 mark for many many years. So I'm not sure when it jumped up to 200, but Teen Titans was a very expensive Xbox game. So
I hope it's scarce or something at least, man. What the heck? 8x price increase.
yeah, it's pretty nutty. So I'm not sure, not totally sure why, but it's very interesting. I've always heard it's a really good game. I've never played it, but the fact that it's 4-player co-op is really cool. So
It's your typical like Marvel with Ultimate Alliance type of game. Just a 4-player beat 'em up. I don't know. I played it like for an hour one night. I didn't have too much fun with it, but
yeah, because you would almost think that the PS2 version would be the lowest print version, since that's the only console out of the 3 without 4 native controller slots. You have to buy an extra peripheral for it. So you would think the PS2 version would be less printed since you can't, take advantage of the 4-player multiplayer, but no, it's all about the Xbox version.
I wonder how many of these things are like price memory from an old YouTube video. Like someone said, "Oh, this is a tough one to find on Xbox. You should keep an eye out for this," and it's held on to this value for so long. I don't know. That's just a theory.
Dude, I'm telling you, Metal Jesus has left an impact
Yeah.
for a lot of these things. Whether you like him or not, he really, really has. And it's funny because even, when we do videos and think about these lists and different things, like a lot of his old videos I used to watch back in the day come to my mind when I think about like more expensive games on consoles.
Yeah.
It's he was really the only one doing it and doing it great for such a long time that a lot of us got a lot of our earlier information from him and his buddies. So it's like he really has made a lasting impact, which is interesting. Like the reason I even thought to look up Teen Titans was because I remembered, oh yeah, Mel Jesus talked about this in one of the videos a long time ago. Let me look it up. It's like it's that man definitely has had some staying power in all of our brains that have been in the hobby for a while now.
On one end, you have like a guy like that who's like saying, "Hey, this is the value of this," or "This is the rarity of this," and then on the other hand, you've got influencers like Angry Video Game Nerd. The freaking big rigs is never gonna be affordable again. Just not even because he said it was a rare game, but because people want to own it. Like people, it's not even their fault, It's the buyers as usual. We're the problem. There's just a high demand, It's an interesting phenomenon.
Dude, I can't lie to you. I remember when I saw that AVGN video, I went to go see if I could buy a copy. So is like, I'm exactly what you're talking about. I was like, that'd be so funny to own.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hundreds of dollars? I'm okay.
That would be such a good one to own. I did the same thing.
We're all just one big hive mind, let's be real.
The last one here is a game you have never heard of and no one listening has ever heard of. It came out last year, October 2023. The most modern one of the 10 games here today. It is Trepang 2. Trepang 2. It came out on PS5 and Xbox Series X. There are a lot of PS5 copies listed right now. They're about $45. Let me tell you that there are 0 listings of this game on Xbox right now on eBay. And it is, sold listings are $60 to $120 US.
Whoo! That's crazy.
I don't know what the heck is going on with this game. It's like some kind of first-person shooter, but not a multiplayer game. It's like a campaign. And
Trepang 2.
I'm assuming the 2 means it's a sequel, but I don't even know if that's true. I don't know anything about this game, and good luck. If you see it at your local store for $20, you definitely pick it up.
Yeah, I'm convinced, like, this was made up right now. This is so weird.
And the freaking developer is Trepang Studios. I'm like, what is going on? They named the game after their own studio?
You know, that's kind of baller, actually. I really respect that. That's a ballsy move.
What are you looking up?
Crazy. Yeah, this is super interesting. I'm looking at it right now. Published by Team 17.
Yeah.
Designed by Trepang Studios.
So obviously,
so strange.
you know, modern games are just probably having less and less print runs every year, just especially on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, most companies don't even make their games for Xbox anymore physically because they know it won't sell.
exactly. So this had to have been the most absolute minimum print run like allowed. It would be so fascinating to like hear from Xbox themselves like what the minimum print run is a company can order. I bet they've reduced it immensely.
That number is out there. I don't remember it off the top of my head though, but it is very, very low. I believe that it's higher than PlayStation and Switch's minimums though, if I remember right. So there was an indie developer talking about the minimum print runs before, so it is definitely in like the low thousands though still.
Wow.
So definitely on the lower end. But yeah, if you want to talk about being an investor in the hobby, as some of you like to be or think or do, like modern Xbox games really aren't that bad of a bet. As crazy as it sounds. You're probably not going to make your money back on most of the things you invested anyway, but if you want to talk about stuff that's actually going to be low print and rare, it's like basically any Xbox game made from this point onward is going to be on the lower end. It's like, it's not a big difference, but even looking at like something like Persona 3 Reload, brand new game in a very popular franchise, right now the most expensive version is the Xbox One version, because what did everyone do? They played it on Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
So people aren't buying the physical copy. And it's like, I bet the same thing's going to happen with Metaphor. And guess what? Those are Atlas games. They're JRPGs. The lowest print run version is going to be the Xbox version. It's like, use your thinking cap, buddy. There might be something there.
Was that a day one on Game Pass?
Yep, they both were.
Wow.
So, also, you have no excuse not to play those games, Christian. Get to it.
It has taken me about 12 months to get through Final Fantasy VII, a game from 30 years ago. I don't think it's happening.
I platinumed Persona 3 in a week. You can play through it, period. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you could manipulate the heck out of the market with these Xbox One games. I could not. I don't know. You set aside $1,000. You get as many copies of Trepang 2 as you possibly can, and you wait. And then somebody's going to make a video. It's going to be me probably. And I'm going to be like, hey guys.
Does this game even exist?
10 rarest Xbox. Yeah. Trepang 2 is going to be on that list. Somebody's going to be on YouTube talking about it. And you're going to be like ready. And you're going to sell them for $150 each. And you're going to make triple your money.
In 10 years, that's going to be the Barbie grooming glam pups of the Xbox library.
I can't wait to make the thumbnail the 2035 Barbie grooming glam. Like,
And it's this random SPS no one's ever heard of. It'd be awesome.
Trepang 2 and Atari Flashbacks Volume 3. Go get them.
I hate that now I'm going to have a save search for Trepang 2 on eBay.
It's an annoying title because the 2 doesn't have a space after it.
Yeah, it's kind of obnoxious, actually.
I think it's supposed to be Trepang squared or something.
Squared. Yeah, but that's even stupider.
Yeah.
So let's pretend it's not.
Any final thoughts, Craig?
Go collect Xbox. Make it worth something, please.
We're literally manipulating the market right now. We are pumping
I feel
this
like we
market.
talk about Xbox collecting a lot
We
for
do.
two people that don't collect Xbox.
Yeah. I started this episode by saying I love to collect Xbox, but I don't really collect Xbox. I just like to research it.
It's interesting. Like it's the untapped market because not enough people care. You can find out almost anything about any PS2 or at GameCube game, for example, or even PS1 or N64, anything like that. But it's like Xbox is like I think it's much more likely for you to go to the Xbox section of your local retro game store and find 10 games that you've never heard of.
It's PS1 for me, but yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, another thing that we've talked about before is that like these games might not even work in 10 years, or 10's a little soon, maybe 15 to 20 years. You might get Xbox One, Xbox Series X games that like are so broken and can't be updated with a day one patch that you don't even want to play it, or like they straight up won't play. And so that's going to immensely affect the collectability down the road because of how much overlap there is between collectors and players. That's gonna, I don't know. Definitely, we're just joking about the investing thing for the most part.
No, 100%.
But like, I don't know. Don't take a gamble on too many things.
But I do mean it when I say if you want to collect stuff that's actually going to be low print and scarce, Xbox isn't a bad place to be. Because a lot of this stuff is getting minimum one and done print runs, and a lot of these games are affordable because they don't care because it's Xbox, and Xbox players play Game Pass. They don't use the disc drive. So
I think that you and I are, and a few of the listeners are a rare breed where we just like to own rare things regardless of what value they're going to hold. It's just fun to be the guy that buys this thing that pops up twice a year,
Even if it's worth $5, it's not like we plan on reselling it. We're like, it's just cool to have this because not many people have it.
Right. And
It's part of the fun of the hobby.
If one day I find out that Trepang 2 can't be played offline, it's just a freaking coaster and no one's ever going to be paying more than $5 for it, like, I would not give a dang. I would still want that crap.
Yeah, I'd still want it. I'd still want it too.
Alright, that's more Trepang 2 talk than anyone has ever discussed on the internet. Right there.
The only video on YouTube where people talk about Trepang 2.
Make sure you guys subscribe to Craig's Game Room on YouTube. Go listen and watch his podcast. Now available on all podcast platforms. All two of them.
It is. All two of them.
And YouTube.
Okay, no one uses anything but Spotify now.
No, you're right.
Nobody. It's fine. Who listens? If you are out there and you're listening to your podcast on the Google Play Store, you need help.
Google Podcast shut down or is about to shut down, so that one's already cooked.
See, you can't even do it anyway, so I'm doing you a favor. I'm helping you migrate pre-shutdown.
Hey, did you get any Chick-fil-A mayo with that drink?
Of course I did. They only gave me 2 mayonnaise, which made me kind of sad, because what I did is usually they give me 3 or 4. 4 is perfect, but 3 is like I could at least use because I get 2 sandwiches, I could do like half of a packet on one, the other half on the other. Have like a little bit of even mayo spread, but I only got 2 mayos this time. It wasn't enough mayo. I was very disappointed.
That's an inside joke you'll only understand by listening to his podcast. So that's one final plug right there.
So now you have to go listen to all 16 or 17 episodes to find out the mayonnaise lore.
All right. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next month for 2 more episodes.
Take care.